Hello, everybody. Hello, Atari. Hello, Ouija. Hello, Gadeon. Hello, Mare. Hello, Moth. Hello, Hopes. Hopes, congratulations on your first ever make an entrance, dude. Good job. Will my PNG be alive? It will. Oh, my goodness. But hello, everyone. How we doing? How are our weekends? How are our days? I had a good day. I thought I was getting sick, but I got home from work and now I'm feeling better. But I hope everyone is doing well. I went to a convention over the weekend and I had an amazing time. I traded Pokemon cards for the first time, like with a vendor, like with a stall, which was super fun. Great experience. I met one of my favorite voice actresses of all time. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And then I went to the artist alley and I bought too many stickers. But then again, I have a scrapbook that's only, I don't know, about a quarter of the way full. So I wouldn't say it's too many stickers. I'd say it's a perfect amount of stickers. Possibly not enough. Can never have too many stickers. I have driver's ed tomorrow. Good luck. I hope you do well. I hope you feel good about it, or at least learn to feel better about it. Hey, Cass, how are you? Oh my goodness, everyone is green today. I'm just getting a sea of green in my chat. Did I say hello to Atare? Hello, Atare. Got my GBA this week as well as a few games for it. Hell yeah. I will absolutely, once I get all of like the Pokemon games that I need like on the consoles that I actually have, I do hope to kind of save up and go backwards potentially and play, you know, the old ones. I don't know if I want to go back all the way. I'd probably just go back as far as like Fire Red and Leaf Green, but hey, it would be cool to get a physical copy of Red Rescue Team. Though I guess I could get Blue Rescue Team for the DS. I don't know. My next goal is to get Ultra Sun. Or if I stream it, let's go Pikachu. I apparently don't like cross-stitching all that much when it's as warm as it is right now. I don't like doing anything when it's warm. I'm 52% of the way to ranking up to my final rank in my game. Ooh, good luck. Oh, yes, no, I read it right. I thought I read it wrong and then I realized I read it right. Highly recommend getting the GBA. Yeah, I know. I remember. I will when I do get a Game Boy, it will be the advanced. I do remember what you said. Oh, Mesa. Oh, it's been a while since I done one of these. Hey, Mesa, how you doing today? Hey, listen, at least we're getting it out of the way early. When it's too warm, you can't do anything. You really can't. Summer and winter both have their pros and their cons. When did Lotta Hart get here? This is the only American accent I can do. I'm sorry. I've been on a bit of losing streak in Worlds Beyond. I've been doing drives in Overwatch, and I shouldn't be. I want to keep my rank in support, so I've been doing DPS drives, and holy hell, they suck. However, I have learned that I may be a better Mei than I am Symmetra, which is very sad, because I love Symmetra so much, but Mei is just she makes so much more sense to me, her playstyle. Forget how much this puts me on edge. I'm sorry. We can make me say different funny words in American if you want. We can play squares. Yesterday's squares, I finished it, but it sucked. there was a 12-letter word. And the worst thing about the 12-letter word is that it had both the American spelling and the British spelling of a word, but mashed it together. And that's what annoyed me. Because the word was decolorized. I'll show you. Let's get onto squares already. You sound like my grandmother. I'm sorry. Why is Firefox not coming up? Oh, because it's turned off. Firefox, come back. Okay, I'll show you. Look at this. Look at this. The big word was decolorized. Do you see the issue here? Why are they using OU? Like the British version of the word, but then they're using the Z like it's the American version of the word. Make it make sense. It's so strange. Canada exists? Is that how Canada spells it? I usually don't talk about Friday Night Funkin'. That's how we spell it in Canada. Well, fuck Canada. I usually don't talk about Friday Night Funkin' that much here because not many people here know about it, but I have this to say. This week, an impressive mod for the game released. Has some really cool events. Moving the game window, at some point the game goes full screen and invades your desktop. Ah! That does sound like a really cool and really creative mod, but I would hate it. You backed that mod on Kickstarter? Oh, Mesa, that's cool. Well, thank you for helping make it happen. What pissed me off more about yesterday's squares is that colorized was only a bonus word. Yeah, that was annoying. Oh, you backed Friday Night Funkin'? Oh, that's cool. I've never backed a game on Kickstarter. I've never backed anything on Kickstarter. Maybe I should. I just don't. I've just never really had the money. I got into the game too late to do that. But hey, I mean, if you bought the game, if the game costs money and you bought the game, then like you still supported them, you know? That's cool. Most of my Kickstarter experiences are bad. I do not recommend it. Oof. Maybe I shouldn't do it then. Are Canadians actually known for maple syrup? I don't know. We can Google it. Are Canadians known for maple syrup? I feel like they actually are. Is maple syrup really that popular in Canada? It seems like a yes. It seems like it's not so popular that it's used all day, every day, in every meal or whatever. But it does seem like it is popular. Hey, Aaron. Least I could do was buy the figurine around the last time it released. The game is still free. Oh, okay. My family always gets real maple syrup even though it's expensive. Listen, sometimes expensive stuff, sometimes you just have to get the real stuff. The genuine or the organic or the real top shelf stuff. Just 'cause it's better. Sometimes you just gotta. Even when you're strapped for cash. Want to try using maple syrup in my tea? Someone said that. Oh, not tea. I have some almost every day because I use it to sweeten my coffee. Sounds like it's good. Also, hi, Sean. I don't think I said hey to you. My bad. Hello, Sean. I like maple syrup in my oatmeal. Ooh, that sounds good. My favorite porridge flavor is honey. So I would probably like maple syrup. I like that this Reddit is called Ask a Canadian. Are there different ones for different countries? Fireweed honey, what is that? Do you Canadians change towels every day? These questions, oh my goodness. Why is the speed limit so low in Canada? Probably so people don't die. Canadians, I need a vacuum recommendation. That's funny. Craziest true crimes that occurred in Canada. Oh, I don't think I want to read those. Don't think I want to read those. Here are die recommendations. What do Canadians call kindergarten? Why are there so many monopolies / duopolies in Canada? I feel like, at least in a lot of Western countries, there are so many monopolies and duopolies. Like, I don't think this is just a Canadian... I don't think this is just a Canadian experience. Like, Australia has some duopolies. Like, we have Target, Kmart. We have Woolies, Coles. We have My Kitchen Rules and MasterChef. Kindergarten anywhere that actually sounds nice and real. I don't think But, okay, here's the thing. Here's my big question for the Canadians. What is kindergarten to you? Because where I grew up, kindergarten is a part of primary school or elementary school. It's the first grade of primary school. And then you go to grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. Is that the same? But I know in some places, kindergarten is known as like the preschool. As an American, I can confirm there's a whole lot of different Monopoly games over here. True, we got a lot of monopolies in Australia. I'm pretty sure Australia has its own... Yeah, look, Monopoly Australia edition. We have our own Monopoly. It's technically not required, but it's definitely the first grade of primary school. Okay. Yeah, for us, it's, well, as far as I know, it is required. r/mental health be wild. I'm not going to that one. Listen, my knowledge of Reddit is very small, and I would like to keep it that way. I'm not doing it. I'm not becoming a Redditor. Okay. I'm gonna let go of the accent and we'll play some squares. How does that sound? Rice. Clay. Clays. Flow. Flay. Flays. Berries. Berries! Oh my goodness! I'm a word, chat! Don't fall in, save yourself. Oh yeah, definitely saving myself. Like, I used to watch a ton of those TikToks about, like, those Reddit TikToks and stuff like that in front of Minecraft backgrounds, but then I blocked all of the accounts because I was like, I'm wasting so much time. I'm wasting so much time doing this. It's... But I do, in fact, remember the gaycation story. The gaycation story is wild. I will never forget, though, the sea bat story. Crier cries and criers. And then we got bowl, which means we can also do bowls. Is bowler a word? It's not. And wolf. I do like wolves. I used to be a big wolf kid. I used Reddit today. Sometimes people are desperate on mental health. People are desperate on mental health on all parts of the internet. It's not just Reddit. Mental health can, mental health can cause all sorts of things. There are so many different ways that stress and mental health can impact a person. And it's so important for everyone to get the support they need. You must surrender yourself to the gaycation. Listen, I've never been on a gaycation. Would I go on a straightcation? Is the question, considering I'm already gay. Cloy and cloys. Oh. Would alloy work with one L? No, it wouldn't. That's the Horizon character. Wolfberries. Is that a word? No. Hopes you're a genius. Bowler? Bonus. And so was the plural. A straightcation sounds awful. I feel like a straightcation would be, as an Australian, just going to Bali. That's a straightcation. A kerf? Most people on Reddit definitely give their opinion. I go on guidance. Yeah, I go just to lurk. I should probably deactivate my account, honestly. The only reason why I have Reddit installed on my phone, like the app, is because whenever I look up like tutorials and stuff like that, like a lot of them will just go to Reddit and then I'll open it and it'll be like, do you want to open this in the Reddit app? Do you want to install the Reddit app? And I gave into that. But it's mostly for like tutorials on video games or like discussions about like Twitch stuff that I look at. But I don't even look it up on Reddit. I Google it and then one of the links is to Reddit. Straightcation, just driving down a straight road for an entire weekend. Delightful. Not a single turn in sight. I used Reddit to sell something once. I've been considering using Facebook Marketplace recently. 'Cause just like, especially for like my Pokemon cards, like my Pokemon card bulk, I see a lot of people I see a lot of people do that. The Reddit search is hard. It's much better to search for what you need and add a Reddit to the end of it on Google or whatever. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I'd rather see what options it gives me on Google, and then if it sends me to Reddit, it sends me to Reddit. Is how I go. But I very, very, we did get flow. We did get flow. Don't you worry, we have flow. Flob. No. I Google my name and I'm shaking my head of my search. Google needs better relevance of me. I'll Google my name. Hey, it's me! What the fuck is Vidya Kanala's? Well, now I need to look at this. Why does it have my VGen? That's so odd. Why do they have just a profile of me in another language? What language is this? What language is this? Slovakian. That's fascinating. If you do Google me, I will probably not Google you. In fact, you're verging a little on self-promotion here by just saying, this is my username on this website. So, like, be careful about that, dude. I did making waffles, and the MasterChef and MKR and Straight Gaycation completely took me out. Oh, sorry. I hope I didn't hurt your waffle making. Don't burn yourself laughing. Reflow, that's it. My bad. I saw that, and then I yapped. I haven't overtaken Mesa, Arizona yet. But have you taken... But how about Mesa Fool Me? How about your government Twitch name? Oh, wow. Mesa of Lost Women. You get I get films when I Google you. That's fascinating. If anybody ever searches my name, did it autocorrect me? Oh, it probably did. Search instead for Mesa Fool Me. There you are. There you are. It's got actually you. And people that you've commissioned. That's cute. And a Reddit post. Hey, we got a Reddit post. Boys. Cool. I always enjoy just the bizarre stuff I hear when I step away from chat. Oh, yeah. If there's one thing I've got, it's some amazing, out of context moments. I'm just trying to... Oh, you can't do oyster? That sucks. Ferric? I would have never gotten that in a million years. Because I didn't know that was a word. I don't know what that means. Did I do fries yet? I didn't. There we go. How about rise? No. Size? No. It means, oh! Yes, you're right. It means relating to iron. Iron? We're gonna move past that. It means relating to iron, like the element. It does ring a bell now. Friar and friars were indeed the F words. Nice job, Mesa. What are we at? We've got one more 7-letter, 2 6s, 5 5s, and 7 4s. I don't know how self-promotion is avoided completely. I mean, it's like giving your username. Oh, thank you for the headbats. Like, I'm not saying, like, self-promotion needs to be avoided completely. Like, if one streams or if one does art or whatever, like, you can talk about that. That's fine. But as long as it doesn't become this is my username on this website, I feel like that's when it becomes... That's when it verges on, like, self-promotion. But I'm not, I would never ask people to, like, and like, avoid it completely, because I know it's difficult. Also, thank you for the no swearing. I do my name my way around an F word or two. Yeah, don't you worry. Me too, bro. Okay, I need to set the timer. Hey, Siri. Set a timer for 10 minutes. There we go. I can't swear in that time. Riel and Riels. Nice. Thank you. I used the wrong R. The number on this R didn't go down, but the number on the other R did. No, like to err on the side of caution. I was right. Bolus? It looks like all of the B words are done. It is done. Oh, I think we did do... We must have... Yeah, we've already done bolus. And a stretch. Thank you, Moth. And a posture check. Don't worry. I feel my posture is not that bad when I stream. I've noticed. It's not terrible. I don't have a gaming chair. I have, like... My chair is, like, basically, like, just a normal desk chair. Laser. We already done that one. Refi? Why did I feel like that was a word? And a hydrate. We'll do that. I don't have much water left. I've got to refill my water. You're thinking of Rafi. Okay. I've never even heard of that in my life, but I believe you. Could not see laser before? That's fine. Out of curiosity, I decided to Google my username just now. My Twitch username has no results, but my... I assume that word is regular? Username shows links to my YouTube channel and my various videos. That's cool. That's cool. I think I'm shaking my chocolate milk so hard that, like, I can hear my thing rattling. That was a typo? I thought so, but listen, I had work today, so my brain's just a little bit stuck. Also, regulal sounds and looks like it could be a legitimate word, you know? So I was like, is this meant to be the thing, or is this... Crestle? What does that mean? What the heck? Ooh, can't swear. Not that hell is a swear word, but, like, hell is definitely worse. Well, now I have to look up Crestle, because you don't know what it means. Oh, it's chemistry. It's chemistry. Okay, I didn't do chemistry in school. The word is dead now. The word peaked in 1766. And then died. Hell was definitely a swear word in my house when I was younger. You want to know what was it wasn't a swear word, but, like, I wasn't allowed to say it. I wasn't allowed to say shut up to people, which, to be fair, pretty good just rule of thumb, because it is quite rude to say. But the way that I was taught it, it was as if shut up, like, in my brain, I'd internalize it like shut up was a swear word, and stupid was a swear word. I once got scolded by a teacher for saying damn when I was 14. Damn is my go-to word, or at least it has been in the past. I think when I was a baby, when I was a toddler, one of my favorite words was bugger, which, like, it's not a swear word, but, like, it's not particularly appropriate for a toddler to use. Apparently, I would just run around and I'd just go, bugger, 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 bugger. Like, all the time. I said soccer in high school and a teacher got mad. What? In high school? That's kind of ridiculous. Bloody was absolutely considered a bad word. And, like, I don't like to talk about the franchise very much because I no longer like it, and I think talking about it can, you know, make promotion of it. But yeah, bloody was was kind of considered a swear word for me, at least. But when Harry Potter, I started watching those movies, I was taken aback by how much Ron would say bloody hell. I'd be like, is that allowed? I was jaw on the floor over how this little boy was allowed to say that word. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. And that actually helps me because now I can do relay and relays because I saw the vision. Reminds me, is my timer up? My timer is 3 minutes again. 3 minutes left, so I can't read your message aloud, Atare. That reminds me of a time this year when my niece said, F word. Because one of my big brothers said it around her. That's so funny. That feels very, Lily from Modern Family. Love her. Lily, best character. What is this? What? Wait. Lily carried that show easily. I still need to watch the Harry Potter movies. I've been told they're really good. I mean, like, they're definitely incredibly accessible as movies, and they're definitely very successful as movies, but, like, in this climate, there's no point in watching the movies. I don't recommend them. I don't recommend the books. I don't recommend anything that has any of J.K. Rowling's little moldy fingers all over them, because any money, like any watch, any read, that's promotion to her, that's money to her, and that's money to, you know, transphobic organizations. And we don't need more of that. We don't need that woman to make more money. What is this last word? Okay, I have hints. It's an L-Y. Liaise? What does that mean? It's an enzyme. Why are there so many science words? Get these science words out of my literature. What happened with the franchise? I'm not getting. J.K. Rowling, who is the author of the Harry Potter book series and therefore makes money from all of the movies, all of the books, all of the games, anything with the Harry Potter IP, she gets money. She's a massive, massive transphobe. She hates transgender people with a passion. If you look at her, like, Twitter account or whatever, yeah, and she has explicitly said that, like, she uses the money that she has made to, you know, destroy the rights of transgender people in the UK. There we go. My timer's done. I can say fuck now. And you know what I'll use the timer ending to say? Fuck TERFs. Fuck JK Rowling, fuck transphobes, fuck TERFs. There's that. Whatever will the Venn diagram of Harry Potter and Disney adults do with their lives? Listen. Disney, I feel, is a whole other thing just because Disney is so large. Like, Disney is not just one person, and I'm sure there are plenty of, like, actual good people that work on things underneath the Disney IP, but, like, Disney as an organization is so... Small rages. Small rages! I'm sorry. So, did you see that, I don't know if you guys saw that TikTok of someone someone making a joke, based on the Lilo and Stitch live action remake that was like, I saw the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake and they changed the ending. Hiccup gave up Toothless to go to college in America. Funniest shit ever. I loved it. All right. The square's done. It was so funny. Yeah, I don't know if Mesa, the Lilo and Stitch, I don't know if you know what happened with the Lilo and Stitch live action remake. Not only did they not cast a native Hawaiian to play Nani, they casted another girl and then made her skin darker, which, already. They also erased, like, entire characters. They erased the whole kind of anti-colonialism messaging, and they made Nani give up Lilo so that she could go to college in mainland America to study marine biology. Even though in the original movie, Nani wanted to be a professional surfer. Would make it make sense, bro. Fuck TERFs, fuck JK Rowling. Exactly. But support the LGBTQIA community. That's true. We have to make sure that a lot of our passion isn't just hatred towards the people that do bad things. We also have to make sure we send some of that energy to, supporting the people that, are being affected by it. I guess if I'm going to watch the movies, I'll probably watch the DVDs my family bought years ago. Yeah, that does, like, if the DVD's already been bought, then, like, that doesn't give money. So that's probably, like, the most ethical way, other than piracy, but obviously piracy in a lot of people's eyes is unethical and can be risky. So buying things that are already, like, watching things that have already been bought, the most ethical and also least illegal. There's a Venn diagram of ethical and illegal. And ethical and legal. There. All right. I nearly opened Overwatch. No, we're not playing Overwatch today. We're playing Ace Attorney. Listen, I love Overwatch, but I think this stream is, unless I'm playing it with other people, I don't think this stream is a place where I would play, like, competitive stuff anymore. I don't think I've done it a couple of times, and not only is the bitrate horrendous, it just, I don't know. I don't get to be as interactive. If there wasn't so much of a virus risk, I would go to the 7 Seas for this, but since there is, I'm going to do the DVDs instead. That's absolutely fair. Like, if you've got a way to watch them, like, then might as well. But yeah, I don't, not to mention the movies and the books also have the racism in them as well. Like, they called the black guy Kingsley Shacklebolt. They called the Asian girl Cho Chang. Stuff like that. Like, it's in the IP itself as well. The problematicness. They made the goblins bankers, which... Ugh. Plus, solo Overwatch is kind of a weird vibe. It is. I mainly solo queue Overwatch, but it's not a... It's... I don't know. I found that I greatly prefer using stream to play games that I usually wouldn't play off stream. Like, I often just put off playing story games for years and years and years and years and years because I'm like, I want to play Overwatch. I want to play Valorant instead. I want to play this, that. But having stream... On second thought, I think I'm just gonna keep forgetting to watch them. Also, a valid judgment, Ouija fan. Unfortunately, I can't open Overwatch without getting a warning anymore. What's the warning for? What kind of warning? Hello? All right, let me change the game over because I've done it a couple of times now where I haven't changed the game and I've just been playing a game on just chatting for an entire stream. Oh yes, and also the house elves love being slaves. It's just... Whew. I don't trust Harry Potter fans that are over the age of 18. Possibly even over the age of like 16. But also if you're not tuned into stuff, like you never know. You may just read the books and like never be on the internet. Some people just end up not knowing. And the only Irish guy loved blowing stuff up. That's true. When you think about it, the world of Harry Potter is fucked beyond belief. Oh yeah. Agreed. Agreed. And then there's the whole mess with like... with the, what was it called? Fantastic Creatures and Where to Find Them. And like, that in itself, like the casting particularly of the movies, like, oh, that's a mess. The warning is something about how my computer uses an Intel 13th or 14th generation processor that doesn't have the proper updates installed. That sucks. Funnily enough, I think my computer is starting to be a little outdated, but the thing it's most outdated for is my video editing software. Like when I updated DaVinci Resolve most recently, it was like, your graphics card isn't quite good enough for this. And I was like, excuse me? You're telling me I can play Overwatch and Apex Legends just fine, but apparently DaVinci Resolve is like, it does work. I just can't use it on like the most optimal settings. I need to get back on that DaVinci Resolve grind. Really good video editing software, especially for one that's free. And if you do buy it, it's just a one-time purchase. Incredibly good. I still use the free version. I haven't bought it. And like everything you see like on my TikTok, on my Instagram, on my YouTube, stuff like that, that's all just DaVinci Resolve stuff that I just teach myself how to do. Pretty damn good, the software. And it's and speaking of shitty franchises and stuff like that, it's also not Adobe. All right. let's get into the game. All right, so last time we played, we finally caught Callisto U after 7 years. And it turns out that she was in fact the Yatagarasu. One member of the Yatagarasu. Because we discovered that the Yatagarasu is not just one person, it was 3. I use Wondershare Filmora for my stuff. I've heard about Wondershare Filmora. I've heard good things about it. Has a screen recorder too. Oh, that is really handy as well. And no, that wasn't advertising. Like you I am happy to get recommendations on like programs and stuff like that. So no, that was very good, but it turns out in this case, however, though she is a murderer and she is one of the 3 great thieves alongside Kay's father and the goat Detective Bad, she wasn't the murderer. In this case, there are 2 people dead, and we still have no leads on who killed them. So, we got a bit more of this game to go. But that's fine. It's been very fun. Of course, she had the videotape that she gave us. Apparently CapCut is the best short video editor that's free, but is apparently in a hot water right now. Yeah, so CapCut's big thing right now is that in its terms of service and privacy agreement, if you agree to it, CapCut owns anything that you do in CapCut. It owns the rights to it. Like, any projects that you've made on it, it's theirs. Which, yikes. Which sucks because I have heard absolutely incredible things about it as a program. The fact that it's turned around and done that. I use KDN Live for my video editing. I can't say I've heard of that one, but if it works for you, that's cool. All right, what are we doing? The plot does thicken. They tried to pull a Wizards of the Coast with D&D. What is Wizards of the... Wait, give me the deets on Wizards of the Coast D&D, because I haven't heard this. I'll also say the only downside to Filmora is the fact that the free version has a big watermark banner, but it's only $50 a year, so it's not that bad. Yeah, that's not terrible. That's definitely not terrible. It sounds... Listen, at this point, anything is better than an Adobe program. You know? Does that mean CapCut also owns stuff? Yeah, CapCut owns your drafts as well. Oh, Wizard of the Coast is the company that owns Oh, I assume that was meant to be owns D&D. I see. I don't know much about D&D other than the campaigns that I am in. So now we know who the Yatagarasu really was. And yet, there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved. Let me delete some things. Oh no, Cass, go! Quick! Render them now! Like how the weapons crossed country lines, for example. The 2 countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. Short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in. Smuggling them in, huh? We will need to open a new line of investigation on just this aspect alone. But before we do, I would like to go through my evidence once more. Yeah, I feel like we've got a ton of evidence that points to Shinar, and we don't need that anymore. Filmora doesn't require high graphics. That's good. Wizard of the Coast company under Hasbro that basically owns D&D. What Wizard of the Coast and Hasbro tried to do was make it so anything D&D related, even if it's your own homebrew or something, as long as you use their rule set and character creation and stuff, they would own everything about it. Oh my, yeah. That is the exact same thing as what CapCut's doing right now. That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Imagine just like talking about your campaign to like another person, and then there's like an eye in the sky Hasbro, and they're like, we own that now. This is mine now. Holy shit. The audacity of some companies. It reminds me of when the Fine Brothers tried to trademark the word react, because they considered themselves like the pioneers of react videos. They even tried to do this to Critical Role. Oh. Critical Role is so cool. I kind of wanted to get it. I kind of want to get into Critical Role, but I know if I do get into Critical Role, I'm gonna be really kicking myself, because the convention I went to on the weekend had like the entire cast of Critical Role go, and I'm gonna kick myself that I got into Critical Role after they all came out to Sydney. It was a dumb decision. You can't copyright a basic word. Agree. Absolutely ridiculous business decision on their part. And I feel like I hear nothing about them anymore as a channel. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Hey, there's a VCR here, sir. Now we can see what's on that tape Detective Bad gave us. This piece of evidence from the KG-8 incident, hidden from sight for 10 long years. That must mean this is still related to the KG-8 somehow. I'm so jealous. I didn't see any of them, to be fair. I didn't see any of the celebrities. The only celebrity I saw was the one that I met. Oh, they absolutely didn't succeed in the copyright. There's no way that would go through. Also, why would you make a video announcing that you were going to try and trademark something? Why would you not, like, I feel like something like that, you'd only make the video if you successfully trademarked it. Like, you don't tell people you're, like, I feel like a business decision like that, you should only really announce if you were successful. I guess that's just me. I'm not a business person. I don't know how that works. I just know that this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please play the tape for us. Sure thing, sir. I love that they're just doing this in the foyer. Like, anyone can walk in and watch them, like, this tape. There's Manny. Nice. Okay. This man, it's Manny Cochin. And he's holding a knife in his hand. This looks like footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building. An apartment building? How do you figure that? Unlike you, I actually read the summary file on the KG-8 incident. Get his ass, Franziska. And the crime scene was the victim's own apartment. So this footage was shot at the entrance to the victim's own apartment building? At the trial, Mr. Faraday claimed that this piece of footage existed. However, no one could find it. That's right, because Callisto stole it. They were going to update their OGL, which should allow third-party developers to use D&D game mechanics in their own products. Many companies have made adventures paths, whole other systems sort of based on D&D, and so much more. They tried to make it where all that was previously allowed freely to owe 25% royalties. The plan was leaked and the backlash was insane. I can imagine. Like, I understand that as a company you do need to make money. And as a company you, like, you need to somewhat kind of control what is and isn't out there. But like a game like this, like D&D, that can be so malleable to however the players want to play, like, you can't control that. And you can't ask for money from it either. I assume it didn't go through, considering, you know, people are still playing all that shit now. I think both of the worlds I'm in are technically homebrew, so I love Franziska being sassy. She's so... Mwah. Love her attitude. Yes. Somehow someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Ernest Amano. I can see how this would have been a definitive piece and why someone would want to hide it. But it's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on now, sir. Oh, Gumshoe. Gumshoe says this like he didn't also work during the resurgence of DL6 and SL9. This man... There's no way! Gumshoe, you've done this twice before. Actually, I believe it has everything to do with the case we're working on now. The ringleader even went so far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it. Which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage to the ringleader. Where? Where? Ugh. Wait, what was that? Huh? That bit you played just now. Please show it to me again. Edgeworth is 2 steps away from saying, zoom in, enhance. Ooh, this car. This is something we cannot overlook. Oh, Edgeworth's a car man. Even though it didn't happen, it led many D&D users to jump ship to other systems, as well as companies separating all D&D aspects from their systems. Paizo, my apologies. I don't know which one. Owner of Pathfinder 2E and arguably the second biggest TTRPG system besides D&D, I would believe that because I have heard of Pathfinder somehow, has spent the few years since the OGL crisis remastering their system to fully separate themselves from D&D. Well, good on them. And honestly, I think that's a good thing. If you want to try and get bigger, it's like as a TTRPG system, it would be very interesting to like not include aspects of another system in it. Like, I feel like that could really make Pathfinder like a lot more interesting to use if it does continue trying to make itself more unique and more separate instead of being an inspiration. Why is that, sir? Look here, Detective Gumshoe. Okay, so I have 2 possible reasons as to why this thing is important. Thing number 1, is it the flags? Or thing number 2, why is there no driver? What? I assume it's the flags. It has to be the flags, right? But also I'm sitting here and I'm like, there's no one in the driver's seat. Exactly, there's a ghost driving the car. I'm gonna try the flags first because I feel like that's the more logical option. Take that. This is the national flag of the Principality of Cadopia. That reminds me, Critical Role actually paired up with a company to make a new type of TTRPG that's like D&D, but the rolling is different. Different? How? I've never heard of this. I am interested, though. And I was about to say, I have this idea, but I don't want anyone to steal it. I don't think anyone's going to steal it. Or at least if people are going to steal it, I'm sure people have already come up with this idea already. I don't know when this will happen, if it will ever come to fruition, but you know what would be a really cool idea? To do a TTRPG of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, specifically. You could probably also do a TTRPG of Pokemon, just in general, but I feel like it would be a lot more complicated. because you'd own up to 6 Pokemon, while a TTRPG of just Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, you'd just be, like, your Pokemon character. And, like, you could roll for your stats and stuff, and you could roll to see, like, how much damage you did. Like, I can see how it would work in, like, a D&D campaign. So maybe in the future I'd make something like that, where I get people together and they all pick a different Pokemon and stuff like that. I think that would be super cute. Pathfinder was already really different from D&D. Calling them the same pre-remaster would be like calling a pumpkin a banana. Okay. My bad then. Or whatever, it was mostly a legal change with names and slight buffs, making the more confusing mechanics more smooth. I see. Okay, that's my bad then. I apologize for seemingly likening them, like, too much to one another. How about one in the Ace Attorney universe? That would be really interesting. An Ace Attorney TTRPG would be fascinating. However, I don't think I have the brain power to do that. I love murder mysteries, but I don't think I could ever create one. I wouldn't even know where to start with creating a murder mystery, which I assume if I did an Ace Attorney TTRPG, it would have to be a murder mystery of some kind, unless we, unless we gave Edgeworth a sword, Franziska can keep the whip, stuff like that. But I feel like Pokemon would personally be easier to do because it could be more of an adventure thing than a mystery thing, and Pokemon already, have stats and have moves and stuff like that, which could work in a similar way to the likes of, what's the word? Spells and stuff like that. So it's like standard rolling, except there's 2 different dice. There is a hope or confidence dice, and then there's a despair or fear dice. I don't remember everything, but from my understanding, you would make your roll, and whatever dice with the higher number would be your roll, and then whatever dice that was affects the game in both your future actions and what the DM can do in the future to try and make your character miserable. That sounds so fun! That kind of reminds me, one of my D&D campaigns has a homebrew element. Well, I think it's her. I think she came up with it, but it may have been inspired by someone else. So a big inspiration behind my IRL D&D campaign, the one that my old high school friend does that I'm in, it's inspired by tarot cards. And something especially that she does is that at the end of every session, she makes us pull a tarot card. And to herself, she doesn't tell anyone, but every card represents something, whether it be a character, a creature, an event, or a place, something like that. So before the next session, she has to figure out how to weave the cards that we pulled into the next session. For example, I don't remember what card it was. I pulled a certain card, and then 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, the next session, I got a unicorn. The card that I pulled meant that in the next session, there was going to be a unicorn. And now my character owns a unicorn now. Like, we met the unicorn and I befriended it, and it's my unicorn now. And I found that super cool. I love stuff like that. I think there's a Pokemon-based TTRPG system out there. I do think there is. I have heard of one before, but I think doing one that's particularly Mystery Dungeon, I think would be very fun. Just because I'm a Mystery Dungeon nerd. And because it has the national flag on it, we know this has to be an official government car. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was a government car doing there? Oh, goodness. the throat-killing voice. I do remember hearing Agatha Christie would start her stories backwards. That makes a lot of sense. I feel like a lot of murder mysteries, you'd have to start the mystery backwards. Like, you'd have to know who the killer was right at the start and then build around that event, figuring out what will the red herrings be, what would have led up to this, stuff like that. I'd love to get into D&D, but no groups anywhere near me. Maybe see if you can try and find some online ones, if you have any online friends. It's definitely a very different experience to do it online, but it's still very fun. Especially if you use something like Foundry or D&D Beyond, or what was the other one we were using? Roll20. Like, there are plenty of places, like websites and programs and stuff like that, that you can use that help enhance like an online D&D experience.
Ah, Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edgeworth, so you were here all this time.
This old wizard man. Ambassador Alba.
Thank you very much for continuing the investigation even at this time of night. If only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy would never have happened. I am truly sorry.
This wasn't your fault, sir. This had nothing to do with how careful you were. Unless it did.
You idiot, Quercus! You couldn't chase after a simple thief! Bro, you have a cane! Don't... You are old! You are halfway to your grave, calm down! Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for the two of you. I would like you to put the investigation on hold? For a while, can you do that?
Excuse me?
I heard you've apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down, and we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's reconciliation. We can't exactly have the police and detectives walking around here forever. You're scaring the visitors away, so I hope that you can understand how I feel.
No. I can't, actually. No. But we must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues.
Why don't we leave the rest to the Alabastian and Barbalese police?
Because neither of you solved shit yet. We've been carrying this case on our backs. Ambassador, we're so close. Just a little more and...
Ms. Von Karma, I'm afraid I've made up my mind. And without my permission, you can't proceed with your investigation anyway, right?
That's true. However, as he said at the very beginning, this area can be considered to be Alabastian soil, in which case we are nothing but foreigners in their land. Is this really where our investigation ends? Shifu, we found Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Oh, Lang's back. Isn't he still shot? Lang, I think you need to go to hospital. Sounds like old man is hiding something. Agree. Also, I have to quickly do something. I wear a ring every day, right? Chat, and sometimes it irritates my finger. So I've had to take it off today and put like cream on my finger every now and then, and I forgot I should probably do that now. So, sorry. Putting ointment on finger. It hasn't been this irritated in such a long time. Because usually it only gets irritated if I wash my hands with certain brands of soap with the ring on. So I usually take the ring off when I go to like the bathroom or something like that. Not another Ernest Amano. That was his name. You're right, Moth. Hello, Elliot. And hello, Money. Thank you for the hydrate. Eat my desk? Would that not hurt your teeth? And also,
your stomach? Shifu, this way. Yo. He's not even limping. What the hell? Agent Lang, you're back on the scene rather quickly. If I laid back and took a break, I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor. Okay. Agent Lang, why have you returned? Because I have to solve this case no matter what. Well, I'm sorry to inform you. And don't take this the wrong way, I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of Interpol was just found to be a thief, and so... under these circumstances, I wish to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe our own police can handle things from here. They are quite capable. Except for the fact that they have done nothing up until now. At this rate, our investigation really will come to a close. Okay. I hate voice acting people's laughter. It just, I don't know. I feel like I'm laughing is hard, especially in a voice that is not your own. Ambassador Rauber, I get it now. I really do. Oh, I'm very glad you understand how I feel. No, not that. What I was talking about is... I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder. Whoa! Okay. You... No? The... Killer? Now that was rough for my voice acting. 4 characters in 4 different sentences. Do you really mean that, Agent Lang? Heh, wolves don't lie. Then who is it? Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Cochin's murder. That was all Shinar. She said it wasn't her, though. And somehow I kind of believe her? Long Ji says the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. Whatever that means. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was Damas 2's killer? I'll tell you who. It was you. What? Wait. I think Lang is just throwing... He's throwing darts at this point. And whatever the dart hits on, he's like, they're the killer. Hey, wait. But that's impossible. Yeah. Although that whip is actually quite... Gumshoe, don't you dare. Yeah, you know what? Deserved that time. Hold your tongue and that ludicrous remark you were about to make. Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing her of murder? Yeah, I am. He doesn't appear to be joking. Hey, sis. I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? Yes, he did. But what does that have to do with anything? I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you moved around rather freely between Alabast and Babal, did you not? Objection! And where is your evidence that I'm the killer? I was just getting to that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission? Please say no. He's not going to say no. With things as they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I?
You just gave that choice. You made that choice 5 minutes ago saying no. Now you say yes? What if this man is related to Lang? Both of their eyebrows connect to their hair. I'm making connections here, and they're absolutely wrong, but they are funny. I see what Lang's gain is. Oh! Is Lang trying to make it so that we can all inspect his office again? Though, honestly, I can't put it past Lang that he is just being that stupid.
Time, but before I go...
Hopes, thank you so much for the 4-month streak resub. Welcome back to the strawberry patch. Sorry, the subberries. The sub-shrubs. The subberries. The subberies. I'll call them that. The subberies. It flows. And it sounds a little bit like shrubbery, so it still works in my head.
Good. Then let's move out. Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
As if I would have any reason to flee. But just so we're clear, your logic had better be sound. Hopes! Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the gift sub to Cass. Cass, enjoy your emotes for the month and welcome to the subberies. Oh my goodness, Hopes, you're too kind. Thank you. Because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation. She seems rather upset. Not that I blame her. Yeah, I think anyone would be upset when they've been accused of murder. Also, I have now realized that other than Lang, and I guess Alba, everyone in this room has now been accused of murder. Welcome to the club, Franziska.
I expected that you'd accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that.
Agent Lang, as someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part, and so that I may clean up my superior's mess. What a dig. What a sassy bitch.
I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery.
Oh, in that case, I want to join in too. I still haven't seen what it looks like in Alabasta yet.
If you let Kay in, then you've got to let me in too, pal. I can't sit around and do nothing when Ms. Von Karma's in trouble.
Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay?
Okay, I'll take you up on that. Oh yeah, I'm fired up and raring to go.
As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over. True.
Sounds like this is going to get real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride. Very well. But I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance. I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now let's go.
Gotta put my glasses back on, though. I'm gonna need a butter menthol or a strepsil or something once I'm done with this stream. My throat feels so funny from all the voices. Alba's voice in particular sucks.
Okay, now let's first go over the facts one more time. Manny Kochan's body was found over in the Secretariat's office in Babal. The weapon that took his life was one of Alabast's ornamental knives. And then, the body of Damas II, Mr. Kashi Nu, was found here in the Alabastian ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was this Primaduck statue, and that this is actually Babal's statue. This case, no matter how I look at it... Sis, if it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled this off.
Agent Lang, don't you understand the full implications of what you are saying?
Of course I do, sis, and I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted any evidence you could find. And so, while people were distracted by the Yatagarasu's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief who took advantage of the confusion from the fire.
Even if all that were true, how do you explain the movement of the weapons?
Don't worry. I plan to show that you're the culprit behind that too. You had permission to investigate both embassies at will. With that kind of free reign, you could have easily taken the weapons across country lines.
Oh, shit. Listen, I don't use the term often, but Lang just gained so much aura. Oh, he hit the QTE, he did. That's exactly what happened, Moth. Wait, I love it being called that. Okay, and my bangs are falling in front of my face. Okay, there we go. I tucked them all under my headset. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play.
Look, sis, I thought I already told you I'm not messing around here. This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but Shinar certainly is tied to the smuggling ring.
He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring, could it not be deeper than what any of us can imagine? Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already. Franziska, you need to calm down, because you only know the facts of the Alabastian side of the case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole and therefore solve it. What? But don't worry, I am taking this seriously as well, and I will prove your innocence.
That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But can you come up with anything else that can top my hypothesis? Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well.
Of course, and I will. Let us now delve into the truth behind the murder of Damas II. You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just a confrontation against Agent Lang. If you can't figure out how the murder of Damas II is related to the smuggling ring, then it will mean the end of our investigation. As long as I have no good counter-argument to his hypothesis, then the best I can do is walk this thin tightrope and see what I can do.
Come on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's get started.
Yes, let's. Ba-doom boom.
One of Alabast's knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Cochin, and the murder weapon in the killing of Damas II is Babal's Primadux statue. Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you.
So long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Franziska will remain a suspect?
You got it, Mr. Prosecutor. So why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I've worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss.
Agent Lang, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself.
What are you talking about?
By focusing too intently on that which is in front of us, we become blind to the truth. Don't tell me Lingji never said anything to that effect?
You prosecutor! Who do you think you are speaking about Lingji's proverbs like that?
I don't need his proverbs, because my words are all you will need to see the truth. Okay. I actually have no idea where to go here, so I just have to press everything first and hope I can find a breakthrough. Actually, you know what I do want to see? I want to see what evidence we have left. We still have 3 pages of evidence. Oh boy. Okay. Badge. We've got the embassy guide, the notes on Cochin's body, the key, the bills, the document, the statue, the knife, the passion flowers, which we still have not used at all, the note, the other statue, the spear, the samurai dogs, the pick, the fountain, the photo, the fires, the wire, the revolving fireplace wall, the hair sticks, the trump card, and the videotape. Oh, geez, this is gonna be a long one.
Hold it.
I concur that this knife crossed over country lines.
Good, but that's not the only thing that did. We mustn't forget about the other weapon. The knife was only one.
Okay, that gave me a whole lot of nothing.
Hold it.
So you're saying that the Prima statue was also brought over by Franziska?
Like I told you before, that's the only way it makes sense.
And how exactly did she bring it over?
I haven't figured that out yet.
That's a rather weak statement considering how sure you are.
Maybe, but there is one thing I do know for sure.
Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. Did we have to talk about penetration there, or, like, was that necessary? Impenetrable? I should hardly think so.
You've seen the top of the wall between the two countries, right? Who in the world could cross over that?
Yeah, not even I could climb over that thing with all that barbed wire.
The only way into either embassy is through the doors in the Theatrum Neutralis. So the only way for the knife and the Prima statue to traverse the two countries is through those security camera-equipped, well-guarded doors.
The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you. I feel like this is the one that has to be incorrect, but I don't know how yet. Was Franziska really the only person to have traveled between the two countries?
According to the guards at both doors, she's the only one to go back and forth. The sis there was in Alabast when the Yatagarasu showed. And then, just before you guys found Mr. Cochin's body, she entered Babal. I think we can assume that's when she brought the knife into Babal.
Then how do you explain the Prima statue?
I haven't quite figured that out yet. However, the fact that the two weapons crossed the border proves that the killer must have also traveled across country lines. The only things to cross the border are the Prima statue and the knife? I should hardly think that those are the only two items, Agent Lang. Oh, okay. Well, no. Babal's Prima statue also had to cross lines. That's wrong? Okay, that's wrong. Shit. Okay, we can't present profiles. What else traversed country lines? Maybe the note? Oh, maybe the wire. Maybe the flowers? But I don't know. I don't think the flowers are there. I don't know how the flowers would be a part of this yet. Also, hello, Naturel. How are you? What about the note? Because that obviously means that Damas 2... No? Oh, no. I'm good, how are you? I mean, I was good. But now I seem to be losing my touch. Uh-oh. What do I do? To be comfortable in the facts. Maybe it's here. Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate. Okay, I press this again. Is Franziska really the only one? She's the only one to go back and forth. The sis there was in Alabast. And then I think we can assume that's what
How do you explain the perimeter statue? I haven't quite figured that out yet. However, the fact that 2 weapons crossed the border proves that the killer must have also traveled. The only things to cross the border are the Primaduck statue and the knife. I should hardly think those are the only 2. So it has to be, maybe it's the 3rd thing that I have to present it at. Because it's not, they're acting like there was only 1 statue that was moved across country lines, but there had to be 2. There it is. Okay, I was just presenting it on the wrong statement. Agent Lang, those 2 items are not the only 2 to cross the border tonight. Oh? Damastu was killed with Babal's Primaduck statue, yes. But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Alabast's Primaduck statue go? To Babal. Precisely. And if the 2 statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the embassies. I guess so. But you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items, only that the sister's the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Alabast and Babal is her. Is that really true? Was there no one else who traveled between the 2 countries? Actually, there was definitely another person. One who paid visit to both sides of the wall.
Objection!
Is that really so, Agent Lang? Are we trying to say that Sheena? Sheena is still there. I'm thinking, okay, I have a few options here. So Sheena, I think, could have crossed it. Because she was the trying to be the Yatagarasu at the time. No, actually, no, I don't think it's Sheena. I take it back. I think it's Larry. Wait, I'm sorry, Larry's profile? The man under the steel samurai mask. Sadly, he is a friend from grade school. What do you mean, sadly? But also Dimash too. Because he went to Alabast, but he was told by the note that Cochin... Maybe I'm wrong. But it's one of those 2. When did Old Bag get here? Like 2 streams ago? 2 Ace Attorney streams ago? She was playing Big Booba Woman. She was playing the other samurai. What a lousy time to try and bluff your way out of this. I checked out what the guard said, along with the security camera's footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily. But suppose there was some other way, other than through the theater doors. What other way? The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed, if I point it out, it would open up a whole new possibility. And though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility. It looks like you've got some clever idea in that mind. I do, and I can show it to you through a single piece of evidence. Oh, evidence, okay. Fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route. This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the 2 countries. What's in here? No. Does that give us another route? I'm gonna say back to that. That one doesn't. No, no, no. I don't think it's the flowers. Part of the rose garden pool. Oh, I feel like there's like 3. I feel like there's like 3 different pieces of evidence I could present right now. Like, I could present this because it is like the map. I could present the fountain because it's part of the rose garden pool, but like Larry obviously went in there and out of there. So there's obviously like a pipe system of some kind that they can go through. But then there's also the photo of the Yatagarasu, which seems to obviously show a person flying through the air. And because Edgeworth seems to really be, reluctant about the piece of evidence that he wants to present, I'm gonna do this one. Oh my gosh, I was right. Agent Lang, I'm sure you're familiar with this unforgettable photo. Shh, that supernatural photo? Like I said before. Humans can't fly. No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well. And don't start claiming that Sheena somehow grew wings, either. I wouldn't dream of claiming that. Lang absolutely read Maximum Ride as a child, didn't he? And I won't allow you to take back what you've said either. I'll say it again, it's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you'd better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor. Ugh. But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait, not humanly possible? Eureka! Oh, well, I'm glad that he's figured it out, because I haven't. Very well, you will have your explanation. It sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it. The face hidden within this photo is blurry. The face? Wait. Could it be one of the statues?
Take that! Not so fast!
Okay, never mind. The man-shaped shadow that flew through the air, wrapped in the darkness of the night. Its real shape can only be this one thing. No, I think it's the statue. Maybe it's the other statue? Why are there two of these? It's annoying me.
Take that!
Oh my gosh, it was the other statue. Fuck. There's no way. Okay. Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the Primaduck statue replica. You can't be serious. The Yatagarasu, or rather Callisto Yu, dressed as Agent Sheena, was inside Babal. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air. We were all the statue all along, yeah. Maybe the statue was the friends we made along the way. Huh. Mr. Prosecutor, you left out a very crucial bit in your explanation. I know I did. She launched it through the air? Huh. And how exactly did she do that? He's literally baring his fangs at me. Listen, that's kind of sexy. But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the air like that? As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. The wire! Which reminds me, didn't he say this earlier? Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office. Oh, we should ask her about that. So just before the murder, Franziska was called here right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I'll need to hear testimony from Ms. Von Karma. Oh? What are you up to now, pretty boy? Earlier you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Ms. Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her, and for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer. Yeah, I guess I did say something like that. In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is. Huh. Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth? How dare you? As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too. I don't. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time, which is why I would like to hear about it from you. Franziska, I feel that I still don't have enough information, which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case. All right. So, what would you like me to talk about? I'd like you to please testify to your movements up until you came into this room. All right, let's try this your way for a change. But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl no! As you wish. He wants Edgeworth so bad. So true. As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastian embassy. After I saw the steel samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Albert to his office. Interesting. Franziska, I want to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct? Yes, of course. I see. For now, the only way that I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Franziska about her testimony in more detail. Brother against sister. Pressing time.
Hold it!
I thought your duty was to fact-find anything you could about the smuggling ring. Yes, that was my job. But upon hearing that the Yatagarasu had sent a calling card to the embassy, Ambassador Alba called upon us to protect the embassy instead. That incident 7 years ago. Or have you forgotten what happened here back then? Anything related to that case we were involved in appears to be rather painful for her. It's not exactly one I can readily forget myself. Poor Franziska. Well, of course she was traumatized. She was what, like 13? When she had to go through that case? When she got shot at? Goodness. Yeah, I would not be able to forget that either. It looks like you remember the case after all. Of course I do. I inspected every location, every possible escape route, and every aspect of the police's security detail. I did all that, then after that... After I saw the steel samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, press.
Hold it!
So you were at the theater as well? Yes, and I suppose you were also there as well, watching that stage show? Well, yes. So Franziska was there. Well, after the show was over and I saw the steel samurai off, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. I feel like the Rose Garden is what we're gonna have to look at.
Hold it!
Why did you need to confirm the degree of preparation for the speech? For security's sake, of course. What other reason could I have had? No one knew just how the Yatagarasu had planned on getting in, right? Yes, I suppose you're right. And in the end, the Yatagarasu did choose to appear in the Rose Garden, even if it did turn out to be nothing more than a shadow. Ugh, who would have thought that she would use a shadow? Calm down, Franziska. She must still be nursing a grudge over the fact that she couldn't figure it out herself. Yeah, I would too. Actually, no, I can't hold grudges. I'm immune to it. I hold one grudge, and that's about it. I don't care enough to hold grudges against, like, everybody in the world that has wronged me. Not that it's like a huge list, but there's definitely a list. Anyway, there was no one in the Rose Garden, and we were aware that the speech was set to start soon thereafter. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Albert to his office. Okay, press.
Hold it!
At that time, Damastu's body had yet to be found in this room, is that correct? That's right. But Ambassador Albert was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence. A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying? With my bad memory, I forget how I was wronged. Yeah, unfortunately, I am one of the people where time heals most wounds. Where, like, yeah, I can still be salty about something that happened to me, but in 99.9% of cases, I don't give a fuck about it anymore. I'm like,
Yeah, that was a thing. Time to move on.
Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you.
Seriously?
Like I keep telling you. When I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill watering his plants.
Oh, I can attest to that. I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time here in my office. All right then, add that statement to your testimony and let's hear some details.
So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he?
What does that have to do with anything? Been listening to stream while working on Discord server stuff? Who do you think is the murderer then, Moth? Also, how's the Discord server going?
Alright, press again. For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill? What do you mean by that? The entrance to this room is on this side, however the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered the room his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Is that not correct?
I said I was listening, I didn't say I was paying attention. Ah. You were listening, but you were not active listening, I see.
I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him, but fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me, with a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right?
Wait. I don't actually think that happened. Wait, chat. Chat, I've got it. So, we found a wire inside the grandfather clock in Babal's place. And I think I've already said this. I think the theory is that that wire was what was used from Babal's side to move the statue or drop the statue down to make it travel across country lines. I think a similar thing with a wire happened in Alabast. But I think the wire will not be found in the grandfather clock. I think the wire will be found in the watering can. And I think she caught him doing that. That's my theory. I don't think he was watering the flowers. I think he was a part of the statues being swapped. I suppose. After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself and is growing them with the utmost care, you know. Yes. The plants in this room, they are all like my children.
The passion flowers in the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All 4 of them are in full bloom.
Ms. Von Karma, what did you say to... 4? There's 2 of them. Now, where did the other 2 go?
I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement do you not understand?
What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is.
I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony.
Very well. There were 4 large passion flowers. Present! Oh my goodness, finally we know where the flowers come into this. I'm just adding channels and threads. My friendo is going to look it over and adjust stuff if needed. Sounds good. Discord stuff can be a little complicated, but like once you finish creating everything, maintenance is quite easy.
Objection!
He's so cocky. Franziska, for some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence. It does appear that way. Ha, I knew it. I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing discrediting Ms. Von Karma like this? Yes, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir. Eeh.
All I've done is state what I saw. I have not made a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I'm still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles? At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case. See, I think he's trying to say he doesn't think Franziska is lying. He thinks that the number of flowers changed. In that photo of the flowers, there's 2 holes in the dirt. Are there? You're right. There are 2 holes in the dirt. Someone took out 2 flowers. Discord confuses me. It can be really confusing, but if you ever need, like, help, Cass, I'm happy to, you know, give some advice or some tips. It's easy because it's a private server. That's good. It's definitely a lot harder to run a community. Though, to be fair, at this point in time, the strawberry patch is quite easy to run. The strawberry patch is fine. It's when communities get bigger and more rowdy that you have to, like, actively keep an eye on things more. So I guess I'm a little bit worried about when that time comes. One that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Huh, then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine that flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy.
They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care.
We're not disputing that, bro.
So I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth.
I understand. Ooh, let's have a look. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. All right, let's start with the holes. This patch of soil looks as though it has had something removed from it.
Heh, what are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why'd you climb up all of a sudden? I'm still here, waiting for an explanation, you know.
Did you know, Agent Lang? Flowers are best appreciated in silence. It looks like 2 things were pulled out of this flower box. All right, so there's more to this than that. Okay, let's look at the actual flowers then. The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they are actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant supports.
Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only 2 here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little liars failed you.
Miles Edgeworth, hurry up and shut this man up for me already. I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I? I don't have evidence yet, I don't think. Not yet. I still have a thing or 2 left to examine. I think it's the Oh! There's not going to be wire in the watering can. There's going to be vines in the watering can. Because he just said passion flowers aren't a fruit, they're a vine. So maybe instead of wire on this side of the embassy, they used passion flower vines to carry the statue. I'm coming up with theories. Whether they're correct or not is a whole other thing, but I'm coming up with them. This watering can is a rather robust design. Mr. Edgeworth, why are you telling us stuff we can clearly see for ourselves? Plus, if you keep wasting time talking about that, Ms. Von Karma's gonna get arrested. I better examine something else. What? You're telling me the watering can isn't even remotely suspicious? You didn't look in there and confirm whether or not there was water? That's frustrating. All right, let's look at the pot then. This flower box, it appears to be made of marble. It looks that way. But so what? Is it something that's so important that you absolutely had to mention it? No, not exactly, but... Miles Edgeworth, you do understand our current situation, don't you? Yes, of course. I am fully aware of the situation. Oh,
Then in that case, allow me to ask you once again. Is what the flower box is made out of really all that important? It would appear that the construction of the flower box is not that important. The flower box isn't it either? Do we have evidence about the flowers then? I guess we have to go back to the flowers. Looks like there are only 2 here to me. You realize, don't you, sis, your little eyes failed you. Miles Edgeworth, hurry up and shut this man up for me. I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up. Show evidence? I guess I'll try and show evidence. It's gonna be really awkward if I don't have it, though. I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require. Oh? You do, don't you? You have such confidence in the face of your current plight, but I highly doubt it'll last until the end. You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang. Okay, that sounds like flirting. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth the passion flowers reveal can be seen in this piece of evidence. I don't know.
Wait, look at the passion flowers. Look at them, chat. Specifically, look at what they're wrapped around. Do you see what they're wrapped around? Now, look at these. Hair sticks with dirt on the tips. We've got it.
Take that!
Sheena, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her that look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are, in actuality, support sticks for the passion flowers.
And so what? Is this really all that important to the case?
Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight. True. True. We just keep finding more smuggled things. It's gonna turn out, chat, that like the entire embassies were both swapped. And we're in the wrong ones. We're gonna find out that this is the Barbalese embassy after all, not the Alabastian. Zeph's squeal of joy spooked me. I'm sorry. Sorry for the jump scare, Moth.
Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally in Alabast, but somehow they wound up in Sheena's hands, who was in Babal the whole night. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and statue. Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal. How did these support sticks find their way to Babal and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up there. Aha! So that's why.
Okay, can you share with the class, Edgeworth?
Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape. It's just another stick, isn't it?
And so it is.
But the shape of the support sticks is what is important. For when they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus.
And the object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks. Sorry, wait, what? Wait, I'm lost. There were support sticks, and now... I don't know. Maybe another plant? There are 2 other plants.
Eureka!
This is what was used with the support sticks. It's obvious someone used those with this. Okay, that's wrong. It's not the plant. It appeared that this was insufficient in conveying what I'd wanted to say. The answer should become obvious to me if I just think calmly about it once more, but the only thing that can really connect the two offices together has to be this. The object that completes this picture. The statue?
Eureka!
Nope. I have so little health left. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna start saving because I'm confused. Okay. Maybe the flowers?
Eureka!
No? Okay. Hey, Money, how you doing? Okay, I have one option left. And to be fair, it was actually the first thing I came up with. Which kind of makes me very silly if I used it that I went for everything before I went for this. Is it the spear? 'Cause the spear is also red. How else would the statue get across? I don't know.
Eureka!
No? I have a theory if this is wrong. Yeah, gimme. Gimme your theory, Moth. I need your guesses. I don't know what else it could be. Neither do I. Maybe the fan, the knives, the crossbow? You think it's the clock?
Eureka!
Nope. Not the clock. I'm sorry, that's not your fault. You don't have to apologize. I'm the one that got us this low health anyway. Is it the knives?
Eureka!
What the fuck? Did we check the knives? Now we did. I'm so bad at this. No, I'm not bad at this. I'm just struggling. What else is this thing about? The fan? No! Get me out of here, bro! How am I getting it so wrong? Was it the crossbow? Oh my gosh, it was the crossbow. Wait, no, that's actually really obvious. It was the crossbow. You could use the sticks like arrows. Oh my gosh, wait, wait, legit, it was the crossbow. No. No, I just figured it out. Oh man, it's the crossbow.
Eureka!
Oh my god. I thought of that, but wait, that's too silly. Atare, we've interviewed a parrot. This game can never be too silly. That's a crossbow. Wait, you're not really suggesting. I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks, they make for perfect arrows. Ah! I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the two offices. But this thread is yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Oh my gosh, it was a zip line. Chat, the statues were ziplined. If you tie a vine, or if you tied the wire that was then found in the Babal clock, and then shot the crossbow like an arrow to the other office through, like, this way, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, but like this way, it's a zip line. And that's why this photo exists. 'Cause it was ziplined. Oh my gosh. There's no way. Okay. At least that's my next theory. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together.
Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all.
Yeah, we know. At least I know that. Maybe Edgeworth doesn't, but I do. I swear it's a zipline. I swear. I swear if it's not a zipline, I'm gonna lose my mind. It has to be. It has to be. There's no other explanation.
So Babal's statue was draped in the Yadagarasu's clothes and then shot over here? Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the Prima statue didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you?
Okay, now I have to figure out on which one I have to present the wire, but I'll do some pressing first. The Prima statues didn't sprout wings? Of course they didn't.
Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact.
It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation.
What?
You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The Prima statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. Oh my gosh, it's a zipline. It's a zipline. It's a zipline. It can't be anything else. It can't be. Legit, it can't be. It's a zipline. So a bust statue was draped in the Yadagarasu's clothes and then shot over here. Press. But that incredible scene just happened to have been caught on film, resulting in this photo.
Huh. And what an incredible scene it was. This photo was taken by a freelance photojournalist, right?
Yes, so I hear.
And not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right?
Hey, listen. Lotta may be many things, but dishonest is not one of them.
Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirits and giant creatures to tabloids.
Yes, I know what you mean. I've seen those sorts of photos many a time in court. But there have been times when those photos have turned out to be telling the truth. If you had ever stood in a court of law, you would know that it's entirely plausible.
Huh. You really believe the stuff you're spewing right now? A courtroom certainly is a strange place if what you say is true.
He's saying it's AI. Yeah. Lang said she got it from ChatGPT.
But there really is something odd about that photo no matter how you look about it.
Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with the statue tied to them. Press. But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct?
But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing.
No, that's not necessarily true.
What?
What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions, it's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statues themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues. Alright. If it wasn't a statue, okay, I need to save here. Just in case I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. Opera's connection decided to die on me. Oh, I'm sorry, Moth. Silly Opera. Okay, wire. Yes! We got it right. Finally. Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow. Huh, I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then shot into Mr. Cochin's office. All the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy. Down to the 3rd floor of the Barbalese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Alabaster Primaduck statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then what about Babal's Primaduck statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babal. Oh, that's true. They're on different floors. Going in the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Barbalese Embassy up to the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy. How do you explain that? I do not know. Telling me to get off my computer and go to bed. If you are going to bed, Moth, thank you so much for sticking around. And I hope you have a good night's sleep. Aha! I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick work. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick, I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion? This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babal's Primaduck statue. Ooh, wait. Let me save first, actually. I'll only listen to it telling me to get off my computer. Sleep is for those that are not Moth. Listen, I know we all make jokes about how sleep is for the weak and stuff like that, but like, sleep is potentially one of the most important things about a person's health. Realizing that I need sleep at specific times has helped me a huge amount. Let's try the swinging motion. A swinging motion was employed. Heh, you sure thought that one through, Mr. Prosecutor, because if they used that, the statue would swing right into the building's wall. Okay, wasn't swinging action. I didn't say weak, I just said not Moth. No, I wasn't quoting you. I was just saying that, like, there is often, like, sayings and stuff like that about people not needing sleep. Like, it is not uncommon for people to wish to deny sleep when it is, in fact, quite important. Okay, let's try rotary. I believe it was done via rotary motion. If the two statues were transported simultaneously. Ah, I see. Simultaneously? Get real, the statues would collide somewhere along the way. Did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the two offices? If you shot an arrow with the two ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed. Ling Ji says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. Listen, there is so much in this game beyond reasonability. You just gotta roll with it, bro. Taking into account the tension difference between the two wires, the top one would sag too much to the point where the statues would collide anyway. Agent Lang, as you know, the Primaduck statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure. And the fact that Babal's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, it would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible. Ling Ji says. Here's what I believe happened. Miss Yu and her mystery co-conspirators set themselves up in the two different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down on one arrow. Then the two of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babal, where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Ms. Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock. QED. Whatever that stands for. I'm just joking around. Okay. I'm actually gonna prepare for bed while still watching? No worries. Imagine getting a proper VA to read Lang's lines. I would love for there to be an anime of these. It'll probably never happen, but like an anime for investigations would be so much fun. Huh. This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer.
Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
The proof is in the pudding, as it were.
Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir.
I agree that as long as there is no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence.
One more? This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor.
The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire are options! Save, please! I think I'm gonna get this wrong a couple of times. QED is apparently a Latin phrase translating to that which was to be demonstrated. So basically he just said the Latin phrase of period. I believe that it's right here in this very room. Now then, I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible. The fan? That's what I'm thinking.
Ha! Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again.
The last piece to the trick are two pulleys. Precisely. The ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case, and thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set for the wire to run on. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security.
Oh, you really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you?
The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Alabastian and Barbalese offices, and that the Passion Flower's support stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case... I'm saving. I'm saving. Thank you. It has to be Alba, right?
Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food.
Why are you so hesitant, Mars Edgeworth? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do? A single point of the finger here in this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now, but to rush in. There is a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mysterious... There's a piece of evidence! What do you mean there's evidence? Cass. Bonk. If it's Alba, what's tied to him? I don't know. Like, the flowers are tied to him. What does this thing say? Absolutely nothing. I think there was an episode in the Ace Attorney anime that was like a side story based off a young Edgeworth doing investigations gameplay. Was it? Oh, I haven't gotten up to that yet in the anime. What was it? There's a piece of evidence that points us to who the... What the fuck did I just do? Oh, okay. Oh! Wait, there's no way. I could hide everything? You're telling me I didn't have to zoom in on every thumbnail? To make every thumbnail? I'm just gonna take a screenshot of Mr. Edgeworth here. Well, that'll be good for when we play the second game in the series. There's a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mysterious mastermind is. I don't think there's anything that points us to Alba, though. I think there's evidence that may point it to Manny Cochin, though. I'm gonna present this and hope for the best. And this is it. Where's my real dessert? How long do you intend to keep it from me? Okay, it's not this. The person who concocted the trick used to smuggle... The person who concocted the trick used to smuggle the statues. I should already have the piece of evidence that shows who that is. I just have to present it, no matter what the cost. I don't know! I don't know! The mysterious mastermind behind the swap. Surely it would be... Is it the flowers again? Is it the flowers again? It might be the flowers again. The smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Okay, I think we've got it. It just felt weird that we used the flowers twice as evidence, but I guess it makes sense. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Ms. Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. I hate double-ups on evidence. Me too! Because I always think it's a double-up. They wouldn't do it twice, right? And then they do it twice, and I'm like, damn it. They did exactly what I thought they wouldn't. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both officers had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So, as you may have already guessed, the person I'm accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Thus, it can only be you, Quercus Alba. Are you out of your mind, Mars Edgeworth? I'm certain of what I am saying, and I am sure that he is the culprit. Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined? I'm gonna fucking save again because I feel like they're gonna want more evidence, so I'm just gonna save again, you know, just in case. I'm doing a lot of just in case saves. Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that? I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd.
Just one thing, huh? The one single end result Ambassador Albus sought to obtain if we were to examine the focus of this complex trick. I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece... Stop making me do this. Stop it. Stop making me do this. Okay. Bro says everything will become clear and things still aren't even remotely clear. Yeah, you ain't Obama, dude. The things aren't clear. Maybe it's the KG-8. Videotape or document? Oh, I'm gonna go with videotape.
Not so fast.
Okay. Not that. Not that one. Why in the world would you need to use a trick like that? I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd, just one thing. The one single end result Ambassador Albus sought to obtain if we were to examine the focus of this complex trick. I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. I'll try document.
Take that.
Nope. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, what do we examine then? What do we examine then? What do we examine then? Speaking of gameplay loops, I'm just gonna load everything. What was the goal of the trick? To swap the statues. But I'm trying to think if there's like a bigger goal. Do you think I'm right in thinking the goal was the swapping of the statues? Is it this?
Take that.
Nope.
Not so fast.
No, stop it! Can I load again? Thank you. I'm so confused. Why would he need to use a trick like that? I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd. The one single end result Ambassador Albus sought to obtain if we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. Okay, give me a second. So Babal's... Thank you for the head pats, Moth. So Babal's statue was the fake, but it was taken to Alabast. So it wasn't the fact that he wanted the real statue. He didn't want the real statue. He wanted to swap the statue so he could have... Why did he want the fake statue? Why did he want the fake statue? See, when we go that far, I have zero clue. Yeah, neither do I. Why
would he want the fake statue? Maybe he knew that there were going to be 2 fires? I don't know. It just seems like the only remaining choice. What seems like the only remaining choice? Just give me what evidence you want me to pick. Just give it to me. What do you want me to present here? What do you want me to do? If anything. The alabaster statue. Okay.
Take that!
Thank you. Once again, the fact that there are 2 statues is the worst part of this game. Because I'm like, I don't know which one to present then. I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Primadox statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primadox himself? I see. Ambassador will be examining that statue now, with or without your permission. Ooh, he's not talking about it. All right. This guy kind of looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Oh, we've done this before. Because they look like that he was picked to be the Goodwill. I suppose that's possible. Take a look at this area around the base of the neck. It looks like a... There's something in the statue. Hey, you're right. Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret? Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction. What? Hurry up and open it, Miles. Hey, Kripkit, how you doing? Also, no need to apologize, Atare. I was just... yeah. I was like, damn, stop giving me hints. Like... I don't think you've played these games... Have you played these before? Do you know how they go? Because from what it sounds like, you don't know the answer to it. So, like, if you're not backseating, I'm happy to take people's guesses. I haven't, but I know some pieces. Did you know that piece, though? Because, like, there's a difference between, like, actually backseating me and then making your own guess. I've been okay. How are you? I've been good. I've been very good recently. It was just a guess? Yeah, then that's fine. Like, people are allowed to make their guesses. I'm happy to do that. As long as they're not, like, trying to backseat. Or you can even say, I have a guess, and I'll let you say it. I'm pretty sure Moth gave me a guess earlier, so, like, I'm fine with people guessing. All right, here goes. Is that money? Wow, it really did open up. Hey, what's this thing that fell out? I believe a more thorough examination of it is required. What in the... Is this... Hey, is this what I think it is? Is that fake money? It's a plate for making counterfeit bills. Never mind. Well, it makes fake money. At least. It's not the fake money itself. Somehow, it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates. And the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabaster to begin with. Holy shit. The Primadox statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat, and the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Shinar, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damas 2. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damas 2 and... killed him. Then, in order to frame the Steel Samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. That's so funny to me, I'm sorry. Well, Ambassador Alba?
You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess, and it's all because of you? You're the one who killed Damas too?
Answer us.
I never thought that you would figure things out at this level.
Is he admitting it?
However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Cochin.
Not so fast.
Quit screwing around. I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt on to a dead man. If there is one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Quercus Alba. It's not good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang. Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago you were ready to arrest Ms. Von Karma. I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you?
Is this when Lang gives away the secret that he accused her to bring everyone into the room?
It looks like you still don't get why I came back. Excuse me?
I'm sorry, I feel like when Lang and Alba talk to each other, I end up barely being able to differentiate their voices, which is incredibly funny.
You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, my real target has been you. What?
Agent Lang, I demand an explanation.
Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning.
Yeah, baby! Nefarious genius, Agent Lang! Let's go! I never lost faith. Except for when I lost faith. Whoops.
You did? I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for, so naturally the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around.
Ah, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Franziska of the murder. Using Franziska as the bait, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights.
Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given the okay to poke around.
So that's what all this was about? Very well, I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth. Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening. I thank you. Oh my goodness. I do love when people that are going against each other typically end up working together. Oh, it's so great. Enemy of my enemy is my friend, you know? Him and his fuck-ass glasses were good. I know! Oh my goodness.
You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow, if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you would be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic.
He had faith in Edgeworth. Oh my goodness. I think they should kiss. Yeah. Langworth is a thing. I knew about Langworth before I knew who Lang was. Funnily enough. The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be in a prosecutor-detective team, right?
Shh, I don't know about all that.
Lang still says, we're not a team, though.
But one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him. Oh, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you? Hey, you were the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me. Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof.
Oh, jeez. Sorry, let me just save the game real quick. What do you mean you need evidence and proof?
I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring?
Don't be such a sore loser. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity.
Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. Oh, what a dickhead. I tell you, I knew nothing, really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue.
You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything.
It doesn't make sense? Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense?
Oh, what do you mean, prove? Can this man just have a heart attack and die? Can that be how this game ends? He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us. The proof that Interpol has been after, which points to this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, then we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open? The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, a protector of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. Oh, okay, here we go. Needless to say, the Von Karma voice. We Von Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory, and by any means necessary. Ooh, are you gonna follow Von Karma's advice, Edgeworth? Maybe give the evidence to Franziska and then she can present it. Or maybe give the evidence to Lang and he can present it. Doesn't have to be you. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. I don't know what to do. I no longer follow the path of Manfred Von Karma, and I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law and what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is one I must make by my own hand here and now. No! No! I feel like I'm playing Undertale. I feel like I'm playing Life is Strange. Which one's the right one? No way this game... Oh. I didn't realize Edgeworth got his own kidnap turnabout choice. I don't know what to do. Use the trump card. Don't use the trump card. I don't know. I don't know, because quite honestly, I don't understand the morals of this game. Like, I feel like this game is trying to teach me something, but I can't tell what it is. Is it trying to tell me that I should follow the rules no matter what, or is it telling me that sometimes you have to break the rules to get justice? And, like, I don't know if this game would be ballsy enough to say that. I don't know. I don't know if this game would be ballsy enough to say you have to break the law to get justice. I don't know if this game has the courage to do that. I'm gonna go don't use. Because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the game is gonna do it. It is a 50-50 shot, yeah. I don't know. So I'm just gonna go don't use. Because I do doubt if the game would let, like, the game developers and, like, the morals of the developers and the morals of big companies and stuff like that. I don't know if they'd be so ballsy as to promote that kind of vigilante kind of lesson. I am a prosecutor, and I can't allow myself to use evidence such as these. Mr. Edgeworth, if you don't do something, as Ambassador Albert is gonna get away with it. I know, but...
Objection!
What are you holding back for? The only thing Von Karma should pursue is the perfect proof. If you really do have what it takes to complete our argument, then there's absolutely no reason not to use it. Ugh. Like she says, the reason people judge people is because people are people. I don't know why you say that. What do you mean? People weren't born to be chained to the law. Laws were born to protect the people. You're the only one here right now who can put this guy out to pasture. And that is the only way a second or a third generation of Zhengfa's people will be born. Can you really still hesitate knowing the fate of a nation rests? Okay, fine, I get it, bro. There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law, too, crosses into new territory. For what reason were the laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. Okay, so it turns out either option would send me to the same option. Either option would send me to the same answer. I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised, but I'm also glad. I'm thankful. See, I'm both thankful and not thankful. 'Cause, like, am I thankful that he's realizing that he can stretch the law in these ways? I am glad about that. I'm glad that the game had the balls to go there. However, what I'm not glad about is how following the spirit rather than the letter. See, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because it feels like oh shit. I'm stimming with something and I dropped it. It feels like the braver choice, and it also feels like the right choice, because I do think it is right. Like, the law isn't everything. The law isn't always right. Like, that's just the truth. Also, hey, Con. But I guess what I'm annoyed about is that they're setting it up as Edgeworth following in Manfred von Karma's footsteps. I don't like that. I don't like, yeah. I don't like it. I like that Edgeworth is doing this, and I hope that we get to see him struggle. Is this game a prequel? No. And I do like getting to see him struggle. I hope I get to see him struggle with the idea of using illegal evidence and stuff like that. Fighting against, you know, von Karma's influence while also believing something similar to him, though in a less corrupt way. But I don't know. Once again, I'm not sure if the game is going to be able to do that correctly. I'm not sure if this game has the ability to tread that line. What did Edgeworth do? He's presenting evidence that he's technically not allowed to because he has no other option. Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this.
Oh, I wonder what that card is. I've never seen it before in my life.
It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates.
Oh? Is that what it is?
Why is he not allowed to? Because it was obtained illegally. It's illegal evidence. This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KG8 incident 10 years ago, a man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin.
Oh, so why do you have such a card in your possession?
Because it was hand-delivered to me by a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card contains directions from the ringleader?
I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given.
What?
This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG8 incident.
The KG8 incident?
The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate.
Whew. Very interesting.
If he's an investigator, then that evidence wouldn't be allowed to be submitted for anything because it was obtained illegally. That's the law. Yeah, that's what I just explained.
Very curious indeed in these case-deciding pieces of evidence you've presented.
The prey the Yatagarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man who has had free reign for 10 long years to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring fruition to the valiant spirit that was given to me. Okay, new cutscene.
So what is this interesting thing that you wanted to show me?
Oh, because we had to go to the TV. The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand. And this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bad's words will be realized. Well, at least he's saying that, at least from what it sounds like, he's going in Detective Bad's footsteps instead of Von Karma's. The fact that he's referencing Bad right now instead of Manfred, I feel better about that. Because Von Karma wasn't a vigilante, he was a villain. He's pursuing the truth rather than perfection. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfection would mean the evidence, he'd find a way with like other evidence instead that wasn't illegal. Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
What you see here is security footage shot just before the KG8 murder occurred. From this footage, we know that the card is a directives card from the smuggling ring. This is the section that proves the card was used to relay an order. Shit, I don't know! Wait, what am I meant to do here? What?
Take that!
Am I just meant to present this? Oh, okay. As you can see, Mr. Cochin is holding the card in his right hand. Wait, what? Why did we need me to pick that out? Okay, whatever.
I see. The killer is indeed holding a card with the exact same design on it. But that card and the one you have, just because they look the same doesn't mean that they are, does it now?
I think you're supposed to pick a spot. But well, what? I don't understand your comment, Moth. But there is a very easy way for me to prove that they are in fact one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look at this. blood? This dark red blood. Yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders on this card were played out in that terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the KG8 incident. With a bit of DNA testing, we can very easily verify that as fact. If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. This car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building is an official Cadopian government car.
What?
Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage. No! No! Not the magnify and enhance! This area of the footage directly links the smuggling ring with Cadopia. Okay. Saving! Saving! This area of the footage directly links the smuggling ring with Cadopia. Is it the badge?
Take that!
This section will make it all clear to us. You must be very tired, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, that was wrong. Let me not lose any health. Is it just the card again?
Take that!
The shape of this pocket and the directives card in it, it tells us that without a doubt this person in this car is Mr. Cochin. Also you can see his face. Also his face is right there. Like it's a little dark, but you can see it. The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera, and with it, we can easily find out who was sitting in this car on that day 10 years ago. Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Rumble, rumble. Whoa! Okay.
You've done well, boy, to make it this far. However, about your claim that I was riding in the car at the time, that's going to be mighty difficult to prove.
How so?
The Principality of Cadopia no longer exists, so naturally all records from that time period also no longer exist.
That's not how anything works! Excuse me? This country no longer exists, so its documents no longer exist. No? Like, no? No! That's not how anything... That's not how anything in international politics works! You archive that shit, hello? Or am I silly? I don't think I'm silly on this. I think he's silly. Also, that's your badge. In the photo. Anyway. You're not silly, Alba's silly. I thought so. Ugh, that arrogance. What he really means is he's already erased all traces of them. Exactly, Alba's just corrupt.
Are we finished here, boy?
The only weapon I have left to me now is this piece of footage. There must be something here that I can use against him. Once again, I was... There's no way. Once again, I was one step ahead because I tried to present this. And I was wrong because it was this. I was one step ahead again. Oh my goodness. I never fail to be a little too ahead of the game, bro. What the? Ambassador Alba?
Yes, what is it?
You were once an army man in the service of Cadopia, And it was you who made the many missions you participated in successes, correct?
Why the sudden backhanded praises, boy? Although, to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Cadopia. But now I am the only one who owns this particular medal.
Are you now? Dickhead, you just incriminated yourself. In that case, the only person it could be who is sitting in this car is you.
How do you figure that?
Oh, I hate the sweat dripping off his nose. By the medal captured here in this footage, it is clearly the same exact medal as the one on your chest. Oh, he's cracked. Quite literally. I'm cracked in the good way. He's cracked in the bad way.
What?
This is how it will be, but I won't look back. For this is the path that I've chosen. Oh, is he trying to... Oh, does he want more evidence? Oh, this asshole man. All right, no, let me save again.
You've moved me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth.
Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me?
It's almost looking possible, isn't it? For the lot of you to have come this far. It looks like I just might lose our little game this time. You might lose the game this time? You don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador. Is that a fact? Very well. I've decided to confess and admit my guilt.
You're going to confess? Gives me mixed vibes of Red, White, and the police chief guy. I don't think he's as arrogant, but I definitely see it.
And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result. What the? Regarding the Damas 2 murder, I admit it. I did it out of self-defense.
There's no way. You're claiming it was justified self-defense?
Damas 2 attacked me, and I felt that my life was in danger.
Yeah, please don't spoil Daisy. Please.
If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one you found dead inside of him.
Instead of him, inside? Ew.
What a pathetic performance. Oh, I'm not giving you one.
Wow, you two really know how to laugh at inappropriate times. Oh my god, I love Kay so much. If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence.
So where's the evidence with you, isn't it?
The hypocrisy on this man. The audacity of this bitch. He was the one that wanted evidence from us, and now he's like, why do you want evidence? What is this evidence about? Asshole.
But if that's what you require, I'll provide it. The man left a mark on me when he attacked.
What?
I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was in self-defense.
Okay, sorry, give me a second. I'm save slopping again. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it save slopping.
I'm an old man, and sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I should. But Damas 2 didn't have a single weapon.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't his voice. But Damas 2 didn't have a single weapon on his body.
Hold on, it's nothing to get worked up over because I hid the weapon.
You hid it?
I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder, even if it's in self-defense.
No? No, that's quite literally... That's quite literally not how that goes. A murder is not murder if it's in self-defense. Like, legally. Everything about this guy is wrong.
And I couldn't let it be public, seeing as how I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you seek, my special bonsai trimming shears.
Ugh, it's covered in blood.
He was trembling quite badly during our struggle. But that's when he grabbed the shears that was sitting in my office and attacked. So you see, it was an act of self-defense.
Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth? Since he has both a wound and the weapon that caused it, it's enough to declare it so. Oh, we've got... I thought we had him, bro. No way!
Oh, which reminds me. I guess there's still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of that is my secretary's doing. I had no knowledge it was going on.
Who's your secretary?
Stop spewing nonsense. You're trying to throw my investigation under the bus in your desperation. If you want to get real honest, everything in this case can be connected to you.
The murder of Damas 2 was done in self-defense? In my trials, no man escapes his crime alive.
Perhaps so if you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten.
And what is that?
That's what you mean. Extra...
Okay, can I... I'm not gonna try and say this in Lang's voice because I don't even know how to say it in my voice. Extraterritoriality. Put that in a squares game.
That's right. This embassy sits on what is effectively Alabastian soil. So any trial that is to be held will be held in Alabast. Therefore, the crime I just admitted to will never be tried in your courts.
Agent Lang, what is Interpol's stance on this?
Agents investigate. That's our job. The judgment of people who have confessed to their crime. That's the court's job. And I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective even on your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I will never stand trial and run of your courts. That arrogance and your expression, that's nothing like the face of someone who is ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your country's judicial system eating right out of your hands. These crimes you all speak so seriously of. To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may chase me out of this embassy with your accusations, but it's no big deal. Alabast has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would change the backdrop of our little game.
These two layers of protection that extraterritoriality provides him. This is why he is one of those who cannot be brought to court.
You see now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and fetch your eviction papers.
Ugh. Is there nothing we can do? I think there's one thing we can do. I have a theory. I don't know why I'm making this a theory, because I'm sure, because it'll be proven within like 5 minutes. But my theory is that... Give me a second to think, to put the words together. My theory... Oh. I feel like they have to do something with Manny Cochin. Because I feel like they've proved how all the murders have happened except for Manny Cochin's murder, which I'm 90% sure has, like, Sheena said it wasn't her. Unless we've proven that it is her. Either way, no, I think it was... It had to have been Alba that killed Manny Cochin, right? Because Sheena said it wasn't her, and I don't know, I believe her. And because, technically, the murder that happened to Manny was on Barbalese soil, he can be tried in a Barbalese court? Question mark? Either that or they unite Cadopia. I have like a 95% convinced theory, and then I have a 5% chance theory. To be continued. Okay, never mind. It's not going to be proven in 5 minutes because we're not going to be continuing the game in 5 minutes. Yes, I would like to save my... No, not all the way down. Let's go back up here. He who is above the law. Goodness. Get me out of here. Oh, look at the... Wait. A photo's appeared of the Steel Samurai with the ambassadors. Hopefully that's got something to do with this. No, I don't need to save. I've saved enough. We have saved enough. Time for extraterritorial rights next week. Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn real quick how to say that word. And let's destroy this old man next time. Hopefully. That's definitely what I want to do, that's for sure. Thank you for the Kelly stream. Thank you for visiting, Con. Now to find someone to raid. I can't believe this case is so long. And it's so convoluted! And it should barely be a complaint because all the final cases in these games are convoluted. How long have you been fighting this old man? Let me check my YouTube. Let me check my YouTube. See how many weeks I've been fighting this old man. Technically, I've been fighting this old man the whole time. But... Oh, why didn't that... Okay. 1, 2... 3, 4. We've been on this case for 5 weeks. And and obviously it's going to go to a 6th week somehow. Goodness gracious. All right. Who to raid? Oh my goodness. Options. Let's see. We can watch some Overwatch. We can watch some Split Fiction. We can watch some Pal World. We can watch some Blueprints. We can watch some Fantasy Life. Hello, Maletia Matt, I apologize for butchering the name. That is about how long IRL cases can take. It can be. I was called into jury duty, which I then got my way out of because I was just getting back into work, and I was like, for mental health reasons, I am not doing this jury duty because the case was 12 weeks long. So I got out of that one. It was estimated to be 12 weeks. And I was like, I am not putting my entire life on hold for 3 months. Won't be sticking around for the raid again? No worries, Ouija fan. Who do we want to, what are we interested in? Oh, it's not Split Fiction anymore. Never mind. We can watch Overwatch. We can watch Pal World. We can watch Blueprints. Or we can watch Fantasy Life. What are we thinking for the day? To what's my favorite game, and what's that? Is it one of the 4 that was in there? Because that's the only options you get. Blueprint sounds kind of cool. Oh, yeah. Listen, chat. Listen, chat. It's expensive, but let me tell you, when we get around to it, I will be playing Blueprints. It sounds like it looks and sounds like an absolutely incredible game. Like puzzle and mystery wise. All right. Like, I want to play Blueprints so bad. It looks so exciting. All right, let's raid out. We're going to be raiding a new person today. However, I have... But, like, I wouldn't say I've vetted him, but, like, I've been in a couple of his streams. I actually just found him at random at one point, and I was like, this guy's cool. So we will be raiding Ducky Doolittle. He's a bird VTuber. Cass especially might like the bird that he's VTubing as. And I actually haven't seen him play a game other than Pokemon. So it's really cool seeing him play Blueprints. But he does a lot of, what I see him do is I watch him a lot doing Pokemon like shiny hunting. So he seems very cool, and I like the lurking. I like hanging out in his streams. He's fun. All right. So let's send our love over to Ducky Doolittle, who is not actually a duck, ironically. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is the raid message for those who are followers of the stream. And then this is the raid message for those who are subscribers of the stream. Let me do that copy paste real quick. So, purple hearts for followers, wiggles for subs. Thank you everyone so much for coming to stream today. Thank you everyone so much for chatting and for the subs and for the gift subs. Today was very fun. I thought we were going to be at the end of this case today, but apparently not. We've got at least one more session. But that's all right. Later this week, we will be playing Phasmophobia with Arcane and a couple of other people. Mare will be one of them. I actually don't know who the other one will be because they are Arcane's pick. I should ask Arcane. I will do that. But we'll be playing that. That'll be a fun little collab moment. I'm excited to do more stuff with other streamers. If you want to join my Discord community, feel free to hang out with me and others, vote on games to play, stuff like that. And you can also follow me on my socials to watch clips and keep up with, other things going on with my life. But thank you everyone so much for coming, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night.